Yo, what's good, people? Welcome to another episode of Raven 101. Today we're going to be talking about conversions. So whether that's conversions of, back 10 power crush, or if it's sidewalls, we're going to delve into Raven's weird situations and, situations that you can actually get conversions from. For example, 4-3-3, if the opponent presses after you do the first two hits, you can actually combo from this. So not a lot of people know. So we're going to go through a plethora of situations where you can actually convert. Do me a favor, like and subscribe. Liking will help with the algorithm, commenting will also help with the algorithm, and subscribing will let me know that you enjoy the content. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with heat. So what I usually do when I launch to get the heat burst is sidestep left, forward 3, heat burst, and this will always hit. It doesn't matter what combo you do. So that combo is the maximum wall carry. So let's say, for example, I do the easier combo. Sidestep left, 4-4-3, heat burst. That always picks up. So you can kind of do whatever you want from that heat burst. Show you one more time. Now, one thing to note is that you can't do this, which is quite annoying. You can only do that from combos that kind of don't have as much wall carry, or after A's 1+2, because when you dash in the heat burst, you're kind of more close to the opponent. So I'm going to show you what I mean. See, it just doesn't hit because when you heat burst, you're too far away from the opponent. Now I'm going to show you the version that does work. You have to do Haze 1+2. To dash in. I didn't dash in enough. So that's the version that works. So in order to do, let's say for example you do a really long wall carry, you have to do Haze 1+2 after tailspin, dash, heat burst, and then you are able to do back turn, back 3, back turn 4, and then whatever you want. So you can set stuff up like this. So that slide would be like -10, -9, -11, because you're hitting them from very far away. So that's heat and how to kind of use heat in combos. If you want to use heat in combos and, carry them to the wall or set up Oki, that is the way to do that for a conversion. Okay, I'm going to show you how to also maximize your damage with heat if you wall splat. So I'm going to just reset, carry him to the wall, and then activate heat burst once he's hit the wall, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So this is the conversion that I would do. So this one, it depends on the combo. So you see how I wall splat with forward 4 and then immediately heat burst. Now, if I do wall hits, I can't do jab down back 2-1-1. I have to do another combo. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So you can either do that one. If you do 3+4 heat burst, you could do down back 2-1-1. If you carry them to the wall with something like forward 4 or this or 4-1, and then you heat burst, you do jab down back 2-1-1. And then if you wall splat them with back turn back 2-3, you do heat burst, and then you do back 2-2-3, or universally, because that only works on male characters, universally you do 1-2-4. So that's how to kind of maximize your combos with heat if you wall carry, and if you want to kind of, use heat at the wall, because sometimes you don't want to use heat in combos. Sometimes you want to save it for a defensive mechanic. I get that. So now we're going to tackle sidewalls. Now, sidewalls can be very problematic in Tekken in general, but I have kind of a good solution if, for example, you wall carry them and you've done a tailspin already, because, in Tekken 8, you can just tailspin at the wall, right? And even on sidewall splats, you can still tailspin. I'm going to try and set up a sidewall splat so you can see. You can still tailspin and continue the combo. See what I mean? But it's those situations where you've already tailspun and now you carry them to the wall and they're at a weird axis where you can't really do, your typical back turn back 2-3, your back turn 3+4, or even your down back 2-1-1, whatever wall combo you choose to do, that's not available. So what do you do? So usually what I like to do is I like to do a jab, back turn 1+2, because back turn 1+2 hits grounded depending on axis, but on most axes it hits grounded. Now it doesn't hit directly on axis. If you stay grounded and you're directly on axis, sometimes it just doesn't hit. So it's not completely reliable as a ground hitting attack, but it does hit grounded in a lot of situations. So that's why I use back turn jab, back turn 2, back turn power crush. Now you kind of have to be the judge and determine how many back turn jabs to use for him to slump down on the floor. Now I'm going to show you an example that uses just one back turn jab, so you can kind of get an understanding of like the situations where you would need to use this kind of sequence. See how it hits grounded after one back turn jab. Now sometimes you might find situations where, you know, you do a back turn jab and you do back turn 1+2 and it doesn't get that kind of grounded unscaled hit. That means you need to do 2 back turn jabs into back turn 1+2. Sometimes it might even be 3. So you kind of just have to be the judge. But this is my way of kind of maximizing damage off side walls. And as I said, you can just, you know, pick up off walls. So for example, stuff like this, you can sidestep and relaunch, you know, stuff like that. So another one. So it just depends on the situation. It depends on the wall splat. But usually I would say, you know, 1 or 2 back turn jabs. Usually 1 back turn jab, 1 back turn 1+2 is enough. But sometimes you will need to do 2 back turn jabs to kind of like make them low slump on the wall. And often sometimes you can do, you know, back turn jab, forward 2, forward 2 if they haven't been tail spun yet. So it really just depends on the situation. But I would say as a rule of thumb, you know, 1 back turn jab, see what the situation is. If they low slump, back turn 1+2 will usually hit them. So that's another kind of side wall conversion that I would, you know, bring to attention. Okay, let's look at re-wall splats. So that's 61. $63. 65. So again, just squeezing a little bit more damage out of our combos. See, 61. 64. I did the universal one. You can get 65 on male characters. 68. So as you can see, Raven does have small conversions that I don't see a lot of Raven players using, and I just wanted to bring these to attention. Okay, let's talk about counter hits for a bit. In the new patch, they gave him... Actually, I'm going to turn on the frames. See it. They made this +14 stand. So down forward 1-4 is now his new combo. 4-1, for example, you can do that. You can also do back 4-4 to leave him at +6 in back turn. If you go into back turn from back turn forward 3, because you can do back turn forward 3, hold back to go into back turn, right? Now you're only +11 at this point. So the combo is back turn 3-4. I'm going to show you what happens when they press jab. Now this has to be a normal hit. So he's going to jab, right? So now I'm +17, as you can see by the frame advantage. Combo. Now you can actually do forward 3, a little bit tight, but also doable. See what I mean? So that's kind of crazy. Okay, next counter hit we're going to talk about is back turn 3-4. If they actually press in between the string, or they just for some reason get counter hit, you are +11. So you can get a 2-4. Guaranteed. Note that 1-2 doesn't work. So it has to be 2 just because the hitbox of his jab is quite bad. His single jab's quite bad in terms of hitbox. So you have to do 2-4. Or this, being crouch. But I would just stick to 2-4. Back. Or, I mean, you can let the, you know, crouch dash rock, but I tend to do just 2-4 back. So that's back turn 3-4. You can also finish the string and get back turn 1+2, but this is very buggy because sometimes like he'll just fly over the opponent depending on the interaction. So I would stick to just doing these 2 hits into 2-4, and obviously at the wall, it wall crushes, so you get even more plus frames. So for example, that's a frame trap. They can't actually mash out the down 4. So yeah, that is back turn 3-4 on counter hit. Down back 4. Now he can combo off down back 4, but it's a just frame and it's very, very difficult. It's completely unviable for matches. See, so you can combo, but it's very difficult. Requires like super precise timing. See, I can't even do it and I'm on levelers. And it's really difficult to convert from as well. So you can convert from it, it's just very difficult. Very, very difficult. And this is a just frame, so it's completely unviable. What I like to do is, this is nice. They can evade the back turn 1+2 if they stay grounded. So this is not actually guaranteed, but most of the time people do, you know, they do try and get up in some way, shape or form. So this will hit them. Now, what you can do to kind of mitigate that issue is, so I'm going to turn all wake up options off. Back turn forward 4, hits grounded. So this is guaranteed. So this whole sequence is guaranteed. Down back 4, micro dash back 4-4. It's quite difficult to be fair, but I have landed it in matches before. Back turn forward 4. So I've set back roll up here. So even if they back roll, they can't get out of it. So yeah, this is fully guaranteed. Same with if they try to tech roll or side roll in this instance. You can actually combo on Kuma. Comes a launcher and counter hit. So yeah, kind of crazy. I mean, it's the same as Tekken 7, right? This move was actually nerfed from Tekken 7 because you could launch, I believe, Marduk, Jack, Bears, and Fakamram, I think. But now you can only launch Bears. So I guess in that regard, regarding like, you know, characters you can launch, it was nerfed. Okay, so now we have his, it's not a new low, but he can do it from kind of a new situation standing. This is on counter hit, back turn forward 3+4. And this is also the same for back turn back 3. So both of them have the same conversion, back turn forward 3+4. So just be aware of, you know, how to convert from these 2 moves. This on counter hit and this on normal hit. Or counter hit, but yeah, normal hit also causes the same kind of knockdown stun. So that is, well, those are these 2 situations. Not difficult to grasp. Just thought I'd kind of bring it to attention. Okay, we also have this move. So if they block the first 2 or for some reason the last hit just hits, you can now combo from this move. So the first 2 have to either whiff or get blocked. So this is the combo. Now you can actually heat burst after the second down back 2-1. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you can combo from this as well. This is kind of a mini conversion. Back turn 1+2. Max damage is this, forward 2. It's not super tight, but it's a little bit tight. You can't really be slow on it. You see what I mean? So you kind of have to be snappy with it. But I, you know, tend to land this pretty much every time in matches. It's not that difficult. You can also do 4-4-3 for a mix. Go for a back turn mix. You can just go for a regular mix. Pretty much any mix you want. Okay, so a lot of people are asking me, how do I convert off of QCF4 when the opponent's airborne? This is a very tricky conversion actually, and you have to be very, very ready because this is actually a tailspin attack. As you can see in hit properties, it has that kind of red corkscrew animation or symbol. So this means that this move will tailspin like this. So what do you do if, for example, you catch, I don't know, an airborne attack or a hop kick or something like that? So we're going to set Jin to do just jab, hop kick. So I can kind of, you know, I know the timing when he's going to do hop kick. So that is the conversion. Now, it can be difficult to, you know, wrap your head around the input. I think it's the input for me mainly. It can be quite difficult, especially like when, you know, you have back turn forward, which is his kind of phase teleport move. So try not to mash forward. It has to be a precise input. So it has to be back turn forward dash, stop, back turn forward dash, back turn back 2-3. So that's what the input looks like quickly. And as you saw by the example, you can convert. You can also do heat burst after the second 4-4-3 like this. So I'd still convert and do, you know, 4-2-3, goes on 4, whatever you want to do. If you want to do wall carry, you can do that as well. Okay, another counter attack is back 2-2. So if the second hit hits on counter hit, it's +8, right? So now you can do back turn 1-4 for 50 damage, which is crazy. So for example, if you do this on block and they press in between the first and second hit. So we're just going to do simple jab, punish, down punish, and then we're going to do jab. +8. You can actually delay this. Sometimes it's good to delay it a little bit. But he doesn't get anything on trade because it's only +5. As you can see, so he doesn't really get anything on trade. Our normal hit, well, our normal counter hit, he gets back turn 1-4. Well, obviously at the wall, this is going to wall splat, Q step 1-2, you know, tailspin, and then you can do the combo. So this is very useful, especially when you've kind of conditioned the opponent, you know, for these strings. That's how you condition people to get those strings off or to gain respect from this attack. Because a lot of people, sometimes they'll press. If they get hit with this, they're not going to press. So this is a very good conditioning tool. Because remember, he has this as a counter hit launcher, right? I'm going to turn off block and punish because it's going to come up with that stupid menu. Okay. So, oh, the counter hit disappeared. So I'm going to do the kick, counter hit launcher. So really, they can't really afford to press in this situation, I think. See what I mean? So this string is really good for conditioning, especially the first 2 hits, because now you're in back turn at +6, right? His back turn got a little bit stronger, I think, from these buffs, especially with this being +4, this being +3, but also giving him standing attacks after it is crazy. The next one we're going to talk about is back turn forward 2-3. Now this string is not natural, but it is +14 if the kick hits. So you can do down forward 1-4. Now it is natural on counter hit. So if they press, for example, I'm going to turn on counter hit now. They're eating 56 damage from mashing in certain situations. Now, after 4-1, this isn't guaranteed. But if you happen to hit them, like for example, if they do something slow, like a down forward 1, they are going to eat this on counter hit, which is kind of crazy. And remember, at the wall, this wall splats, right? So you open them up to, you know, potentially huge damage for pressing into the string. But on normal hit, I want to reiterate that you can still get, if you see him kind of crouch down, just do down forward 1-4. You can also do down back 2-1, but I prefer down forward 1-4 just because it does more damage, right? You can also mix it up with back turn forward 2-4 as well, as opposed to back turn forward 2-3. But that is the conversion on back turn forward 2-3. So now I'm going to touch upon rage and how to kind of squeeze in a little bit more damage before you activate rage out. So I'm going to show you what I mean. Let's say, for example, you do a really long wall carry combo. You can just do forward 4-3 rage out instead of just doing rage art, right? You can also do haze 1+2, which I think nets you 2 or 3 extra points of damage over forward 3. So I believe the combo is like 98 damage or something like that, 97. Let's see. Yeah, 97. So that's without using heat as well. Now, if you wanted to use heat, you can do this. So I still have heat, by the way. So I activated heat, but I haven't used it. As you can see, 100 damage. And now this puts me in a position where I still have heat. I still have heat. Show you a big boy combo. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. And I still have heat. This is crazy. So, I mean, given the right conditions, you can do massive damage with Raven and still retain heat, right? 108 damage, and now I have access to heat, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. This is probably going to be a long video, but Raven is such a complex character that he has so many different situations, and it really depends on axis. It depends on, you know, hurtbox, hitbox interactions. It depends on the character you're fighting. So there's so many things that can kind of alter Raven's interactions and his hitboxes and how characters interact with them. It's really weird. But yeah, let me know in the comments about any other conversions that you might know of. Take it easy. Peace.